Hello all, Arispici here for Dex Damage, and today we're going to be talking about Square Enix's critically acclaimed MMORPG, Final Fantasy XIV. But very specifically, this video will be for people who are interested in starting to play, but are a bit daunted by the catch-up work that needs to be done. I myself personally have helped many people start off in this game, and I've also had many more friends who just couldn't put in the time to get caught up. So in this video, we're going to be detailing some tips and tricks to help you get caught up and up to snuff as quick as possible without the months it would normally take. It's no secret that Final Fantasy XIV is an amazing game. Just ask a friend or acquaintance who plays and they'll tell you for hours. However, the biggest drawback to it for first-timers is the large amount of time investment it takes getting through the hundreds of hours of story to get up to endgame levels. The first part of this video is going to detail the best options to level, regardless of story progression. First and foremost, if you want to get to max as fast as possible, I highly recommend purchasing the optional item, Tales of Adventure from Final Fantasy XIV's online store. There are many options for these, but considering what I'm going to detail here, purchasing the level boost ones are 100% unnecessary. You can option to skip as much of the story as you'd like for varying prices, but at the very least, due to the large amount of stilted content in the first chapter of the game before Heavensward, getting the Realm Reborn one will save you tremendous amounts of time, and the necessary story beats are easy to catch up on. And a great deal at only $11 US. This is the best option for those wanting to get right into the action. However, considering the story is one of the richest parts of this experience, it is entirely up to you on how you want to proceed with this. This game has excellent character design, so take your time choosing the race and look that feels good for you. These can also be adjusted and changed later on in-game or through store purchases. But let's get into the core mechanics of leveling as a newbie, and what to set yourself up for to optimize your experience. If you're playing solo and have the option to choose, I recommend starting your journey off on a recommended server. These servers give a special one-time buff or boon called the Road to 80, as it is now during Endwalker. This buff will make it so all experience you gain from everything you do, including daily and weekly bonuses, will be doubled. This buff will last for 90 days from the start of your character and apply to all classes that are below level 80. In addition, making a choice about which role you'd like to start off with, tank, healer, or DPS, and subsequently which class you'd like to play is key in the beginning. Granted, you can change your mind at any time on the same character regarding this. If you're playing with friends, figure out what they need and want you to do. However, if you're playing solo, my top recommendation is starting off as the Arcanist class. The benefits of this class is you will be able to level 2 roles at once, as it branches off into Summoner, a magic-based DPS class, and Scholar, a healer class at level 30. And both of these will level at the exact same time regardless of which path you choose, and you can swap between the two as you see fit. As an aside to this, if you're brand new to the game or MMOs in general, playing a tank or healer role class will significantly increase the speed in which you can get into content through the duty finder if you're playing solo. And playing healer is an easier way to learn the content considering the tank will lead the charge. So that being said, here are a couple things to try to complete during your first session of playing to set yourself up for success. Right off the bat, when you start playing in your beginning town, make sure to run around and collect all of the Aethernet shards, the small spinning crystals. This will save you a great deal of time traveling around the city, and once you collect them all, this will allow you to quickly leave town at any exit you desire. Also, getting cheap food off the board or through quests, and keeping it up will give you a 3% bonus to XP as you're leveling, and that'll double to 6% with the Road to 80 buff. Also, look into joining a free company, whether it's with your friends or a random group, as there are benefits such as increased XP gain and reduced teleporting fees. Now let's talk about duties, or rather dungeon battle content in this game. Assuming you haven't purchased and used a Tales of Adventure book, your first real group activity, not counting guild tests, which are basically mini tutorials on how MMOs and this game's mechanics work, will become available after some preliminary story content, essentially getting up to level 15 quest called It's Probably Pirates. And this will unlock your first dungeon, Sastasha. Dungeons are a great resource for leveling, but what you will be looking for specifically is unlocking the second dungeon, the Tamtara Deepcroft. The reason for this is to simply unlock a feature called Duty Roulette Leveling, which randomly chooses from a list of your unlocked dungeons, why you need at least 2, and give you a tremendous experience point reward once per day, as well as a little in-game currency to help you on your way as well. In addition, roulettes will give added bonuses such as gil and additional XP based on the role most needed among roles currently signed up. Besides doing your roulette once per day, if you want to focus in on dungeon leveling, my best advice is to jump into the dungeon closest to your level for maximum experience benefits, as well as picking up updated useful gear for your class. Now, there's an important distinction between quests that I want to note before going into additional content unlocks. There are many different types of quests in the game, all denoted by differing quest markers. There's your typical side quests that have an almost teardrop shape to them, content unlocking side quests, which are identified by that same teardrop with a plus symbol on them, and finally quests that have a meteor-like icon, which are main story quests. The next most important setup is unlocking your challenge log. This is available once you hit the level 15 main scenario quest that unlocks Sastasha, and it's a quest located in Limsilo Minsa called Rising to the Challenge, which is very quick to do and will unlock this log. This log is hugely beneficial in the leveling process, not only for your battle classes, but also for crafting, gathering, companion leveling, and additional currency gains. As this log's name suggests, it provides weekly static challenges that give large experience rewards that scale to the level of the class you complete them on. Also, since it's right there for the quest that unlocks Sastasha, I would suggest unlocking this before venturing into it in the first place, as completing dungeons and completing roulettes are just some of the goals, and it'll give you a nice head start. Once you hit level 10 and complete the requisite story quest, you will have the option to participate in special types of quests called guild levies. This is an important step to do as soon as you can, as these quests are limited in their availability, as you only obtain allowances to do them every so often. 3 allowances every 12 hours up to a maximum of 100 to be exact, and you won't begin accumulating allowances until you unlock this feature. This all being said, I do not recommend using guild levies as an alternative way to level your battle classes, as the other options out there are far more optimal. This will be to future-proof yourself for if and when you want to get into crafting and gathering. Levies are hands down the most overpowered and quickest way to shoot a crafting class out of a cannon to max level, as well as helping the pre-50 grind with gathering. I'll go into greater detail about these points in a future video specifically for crafting and gathering. At level 17, you'll get access to your storage, aka the retainer system. Not only will this greatly increase the amount of items you can store based on the number of retainers you hire, but this also gives you access to place items for sale up on the market board to help build up that bankroll. In addition, you can set your retainers up with a class of your choosing and send them out on ventures, where they can gather additional materials for you and level up. I recommend starting this process early and keeping up on it, as it can be very beneficial when you start digging into crafting, as well as giving you access to potentially rare items that are not obtained through any other means. However, be careful as your retainer's class level is capped at the level you yourself are on that class that you pick out for them, so choose carefully. Another key factor is making sure to keep up on your class quests, which become available every 5 levels. These will contain abilities your class will need, as well as leading into unlocking the job for your class, i.e. after the level 30 Arcanist quest, both the Scholar and Summoner quests become available. Same goes for the job quests at every opportunity as well. At level 20, you will have the option to choose your Grand Company. Doing this ASAP is important, as all of these things are, as it will unlock your companion Chocobo, your first mount to allow you to move around more quickly. Choosing which Grand Company to join is completely up to your own discretion. However, if you are into PvP, which is incredibly fun in this game by the way, this will determine which team you'll be a part of. As you level up, you will gain access to even more daily roulettes, to continue getting bonuses to the point where you can more easily take the leveling process at your own pace. 1 at 34, and a few more at level 50. That being said, assuming you didn't purchase the Tales of Adventure for Realm Reborn, the very first thing you want to do after completing the first chapter of the story at level 50 is unlocking and completing the Crystal Tower raid series, as not only will it unlock another duty roulette, but it is also necessary for story progression heading into the Shadowbringers expansion for reasons. And I want to touch back on the importance of the Tales of Adventure for at least a Realm Reborn, because not only will all these things that I am detailing in this video be unlocked already, but you'll also have access to your mounts and be able to unlock anything that hasn't already been unlocked without any restrictions, because your leveling is going to be outpacing your progress in the story by a great deal, especially if you choose a recommended server. All this being said, there are many ways to play this game, and you can play the way you want. Clearly, I highly recommend checking it out, for at the very least there is a free trial available up to level 60 and through Heaven's Word. So take it at your own pace, and enjoy it for the ride that it is. I hope this video gave you a little insight on how to streamline your way into this game, which has been a big part of my life for almost 9 years now. In future videos, we're going to be going over some crafting and gathering in more detail, as well as how to pick out the right battle class for you. But this has been Arispici for Dex and Damage. If you liked the video, give it a like, leave a comment, and if you want to see other videos like this or other shenanigans that the Double D team is up to, give us a subscribe to stay up to date with everything that we're doing over here. But I want to thank you again for watching this video, and I hope to see you someday down the line.
Saucy.